This is my multimedia project. Hi, my name's Katelyn Cruz, and the topic that I chose was views of the world. The two poets that I chose was past Sylvia Plath and the present Pablo Neruda. So this is Sylvia Plath. In 1982, Sylvia Plath won the Pulitzer Prize Poetry, which was an award given to her because of her work called The Collected Poems. Overall, she was credited with the advancement of the genre confessional poetry. And because of this, she eventually was associated with the conventional movement. Pablo Neruda. Neruda was a Chilean poet, diplomat, and politician. In 1971, he won the Nobel Prize for Literature. And because of where he grew up, Chile, he influenced many South American writers. So, the poem that I chose from Pablo Neruda is called Keeping Quiet. And now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We should all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would not look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no trucks with death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt the sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So while reading this poem, you can tell that Pablo Neruda is symbolizing the act of stopping what you're doing or taking a break and looking around, or try to understand the purpose of the world around us. If we stop what we're doing and really focus in, we can understand the world in a better perspective, which relates back to the original topic of views of the world. Overall, Neruda is suggesting that in order to come upon peace and stability in the world, what is needed is to stop and self-reflect. So for Sylvia Plath, the poem that I chose was Morning Song. Love set you going like a fat gold watch. The midwife slapped your foot soles, and your bald cry took its place among the elements. Our voices echo, magnifying your arrival, new statue. In a drafty museum, your nakedness shadows our safety. We stand round blankly as walls. I'm no more your mother than the clouds that the dust distills a mirror to reflect its own slow effacement at the wind's hand. All night your moth breath flickers among the flat pink roses. I wake to listen. A far sea moves in my ear. One cry, and I stumble from bed, cow heavy and floral in my Victorian nightgown. Your mouth opens clean as a cat's. The window square whitens and swallows its dull stars. And now you try your handful of notes. The clear vowels rise like balloons. So throughout this poem, Sylvia Plath describes the difficulties and the issues that are faced throughout the beginning of motherhood. As the poem goes on, Plath shows that there are conflicts with becoming a mother while also feeling the desire to nurture. This poem can go back to relating to women's struggles because of how women have to go through like the transition of motherhood while men don't. And this can change people's perspective of the world, and how not everything is always equal or how not everything is always right. This poem continues and shows the process of the mother overcoming her conflicts. So, I researched both Pablo Neruda and Sylvia Plath. So, when figuring out where Pablo Neruda grew up, which was around southern Chile, this affected the many aspects of who he is trying to reach out to and how he was raised. So, also, when growing up, Neruda wasn't supported by his father, which took a toll on him. But even without his support, Neruda was still able to push through and still become successful. After finding all this information, this helped me to be able to see more towards his perspective and his point of view. Sylvia Plath, throughout her entire life, had many issues and conflicts with her mental health, even resulting to her passing due to suicide. Based on these events, you can see how this can affect how someone writes or how they view the world. This poem may be how she felt when she became a mother and what she had to go through. This is my works cited page that shows all the websites and articles that I used throughout this entire PowerPoint. And thank you.